Thank you for joining us for this Wednesday's Wet and Wild Wednesday. Thank you, CWV Artistry, for hosting this wonderful event. And without further ado, let's jump into how I made these family gnomes. Here I'm going to be conditioning some polymer clay from Hippie Crafter. I absolutely love this clay. It is so easy to work with. It's user-friendly. And you can do so many things with it, from earrings to statues to fairy houses to all kinds of things. So sit back and watch the magic unfold. There's probably not going to be a whole lot of talking during the video because it's a pretty simple video. I'm just making some gnomes. When I'm done, I'm going to bake those gnomes at 265 degrees for probably 4 rounds. And then I'm going to glaze them. But you may have to tune in to part 2 of next week as we build more things for our fairy gardens. We are actually trying to make a village, and one of these days we'll take all the pieces out into the forest and take a landscape view of it so you can see all of the things that went into this wonderful project. And away we go into fairyland. The Mama Gnome was my first ever gnome created. Here I am just taking a piece of orange clay. I've rolled it into a ball, I've flattened it out, and now I'm going to turn it into a little bit of what looks like a heart shape to be her feet, excuse me. On the Mama Gnome, I did not use aluminum foil on the body. I used a solid piece of clay. I did think that that was important to note. Again, this was my first attempt at making the gnome. I think she turned out perfect. You can let me know what you think in the end, or in the comments below, or in the live chat if you're watching live as it premieres. Always appreciate your support. If you like what you see, if you don't mind thumbs upping the video, sharing, or subscribing, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you always for your support. A peach colored button nose for the Mama Gnome. Now I am wrapping my mind around the hat that is going to go on the Mama Gnome. I didn't place the nose yet because I'm thinking that the hat needs to get on there first. You can kind of see that I slowed down a little bit during this part. This is my brain working on what's going to happen next. Now you hear me, or actually don't hear me, you see me stopping and pulling out more clay. I am going to make some hair for the Mama Gnome, and I'm going to make some braids. This is leftover clay from the Fairy Garden wine bottle from last week's show of the outlining of the windows, this clay that I'm about to use. It was mixed with Color Art Scarab Beetle dry pigments. Here I'm actually holding them up because I don't know, for some reason, while the braids were laying on the table, I could not wrap my mind around how to braid, so I had to actually lift it up and then start braiding like I was braiding somebody's hair. But as you can see, I'm going to make a long braid. I'm going to cut it and shape it to my female gnome head. Shaping and trying to get that perfect fit, trimming it down, taking a look at it, see how she's going to curve out. Her hair is also going to act as anchors for her to stand up with where she doesn't topple over. Okay, now that the braid and the button nose is on, we are going to make some little wraps for the braids, like she's got little scrunchies in her hair holding the braids in place. And now we are forming the hat. Oh, she turned out so cute. I just love her. Now we're going to make the rest of the fairy houses, and this time I am using a little bit of aluminum foil to help the clay stretch further in these videos. Now we are making Papa Gnome, getting some tools out. I use an acrylic roller from my dotting tools that I don't necessarily use anymore, but because it's acrylic, it makes it easy to roll out and the clay does not stick to it. So we are shaping the body out of this dark green clay, and we are going to cover that aluminum ball on that tile. And we're going to have a little guest peep into the video here in just a moment. She was sitting next to me, just meowing away, trying to get my attention during this project. So I made her a little bed on the floor next to me on top of one of my clay totes, and here she comes. Her name is Misfit, and she came to us in December, and she has blessed our lives ever since. All right, back to Papa Gnome. Just stretching and smushing the clay together and then adding extras where I need it, and then we'll roll it all out and get it back to a smooth body so Papa doesn't look so frumpy. We are adding Papa's feet, shaping that little ball into like a little heart shape. We are going to make Papa's little beard, and you'll see I'll use the little pointy tool to drag some lines through the beard to make it look more like it is curled up hair. Time to shape it and put it on. Give it a little loop-de-loop at the bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect because most of the hat is going to be covering the beard. Some final touches into the beard just to make it look a little bit more realistic, and then kind of tapping it down with my finger to make sure that there's not like where you can tell it's been cut, sticking up, so to speak. Putting on the button nose. Beginning to form the hat. Just want to give a big shout out to Hippie Crafter for sending me this polymer clay to experiment with and enjoy and make creative things with. If you haven't tried their products, I suggest you do. It's so easy, so versatile, and they have many different things to offer. All right, we are moving on to the little girl. Again, I covered a little ball in aluminum foil, shaped it like a little bit of an eggshell, and now I am making her feet. She is going to be pretty and purple and pink and have a little detail on her hat. So sit back and enjoy as the little girl unfolds. I decided since she's a little girl, she needs long hair. So I am rolling out some logs that I'm going to put as her hair up underneath her hat. Say this piece was a little bit challenging in the form of pulling it out of your imagination. I do think that the hair could have been a little bit better and a little bit more wispy, but I was afraid if they were going to be so thin to break. So that is why I decided to keep the hair kind of close to the body and keep it all tucked in nice and neat. I am making the accent flower for her pink hat. turned out so cute. You'll have to let me know what you think. Now we are working on the little brother, older brother, but little boy. Older than the sister, definitely. He likes to go hunting. As you can see, I'm going to make him a little camouflage dad. He really looks up to his father, and he likes the colors that Dad picked out, so he is kind of on the same wavelength as Dad. So here I added a bunch of different little tiny dots, as you saw earlier, to make the camouflage piece of the hat. Now I am shaping it to the little boy's head, and we are going to settle him in there, and we are going to wrap the little boy up, and then we are going to bake, and we are going to present you at the end with the wonderful family all at once. Oh my goodness, just look at him. He's so cute. I can't stand it. With all of them before the glazing and the drying. Very cute little family. if I do say so myself. My fairy gnome family. I do hope you enjoyed the show, and I do hope you enjoy all of the artists that have come before and after me. They are all so wonderful, so very kind, and enjoy sharing their art with you very much. As an added bonus to a couple of the pieces, they do happen to be reflective. Not all of them, but some of the colors in the clay does bounce, and there was no additive other than the mother's braided hair. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye.